Hello, everyone. This is episode 11 of Seb Ahmed Podcast, and today we're going to talk about productivity. So, Ahmed, for example, to me, productivity is something that when you have a free time and you choose to spend the free time productively, you know?
Yeah. And spending the free time productive and productivity, the origin of the word is product. So when you're being productive, you're creating a product out of your time. You're not just wasting your time. You're not being stupid. You're not doing bullshit. You are making something out of your time. That's why it's productivity, developing a product out of your time.
Exactly, which is certainly important. Why? Because your time is important. You cannot bring back time, you cannot buy time. So, certainly, that's the fact of productivity is making a product out of your time.
Yeah, remembering that whatever you are now, if you're 17 now, you're not going to be 17 in 1 year. You're going to be 18. And every day that you waste is a day that you cannot get back. Every hour that you waste is an hour you cannot get back. And if you just keep wasting time, if you waste 1 year, this year is gone. You cannot go back to it. You cannot go and be productive in that year. Like that year is already over. Whatever you did in that year stays in that year. And now is the next year. And the sooner you start, the less time you're gonna lose.
Yeah, of course. I mean, bro, imagine if you could go back in time and be productive, for example, last year. Imagine how far would have gone already.
Yeah. Because you learn lessons on the way, you learn what is important and what is not, and then you want to go back. But instead of wanting to go back, just start now, and what you know now, implement it now and do it now. Because this is when you can act. You cannot act in the past, you cannot act in the future. You can act now, decide what you do now, and this is going to impact your future.
Of course. For example, I mean, I have a friend and he told me, I mean, Ahmed, you know who I'm talking about. And that friend of mine is, he's good, making good money and all of this stuff. And obviously, I was on a call with him once and he told me, look, actually, you're kind of one step ahead of me. I was like, how come? How come I could ever be one step ahead of him? And he was like, well, because when you were 17, I didn't think that way. The way we think right now is, making sure we're not wasting our time, making sure we're working on something, making sure we're doing something that could probably make us successful in the future, And obviously doing the right thing here, helping young guys like us because we're going from self-experience that like guys like our age all deal with. So the thing is, how we are kind of better is at least we're admitting our mistakes and we're sharing our experiences to at least help people who struggle like us.
Yeah, of course, because we learn things on the way, and this is important for people to understand. You have to move quickly and you have to do things, because if you keep wasting your time, obviously you cannot get the time back, sure. But what else, if you do something and you do it in a bad way, or you fail, or you do something stupid, well, then you're gonna learn from it, because if you don't do the stupid things now, you're gonna do them further on in future. It doesn't matter if you want to do mistakes or if you don't want to do mistakes, or if you think you're perfect, you're gonna do the mistakes anyway. So you better make the mistakes now and learn from them now so that you know what to do in future. If I didn't start a CS YouTube channel, I wouldn't have learned the things about YouTube. I wouldn't have learned the mistakes. I wouldn't have learned what is bad to do and what is good to do. And I wouldn't have this experience. So if I said, it's not going to work out, so I'm not going to even try. When you try and you fail, you still learn something. And this experience is going to be helpful for the future.
Of course, because I mean, we don't know anything in life. Like, we don't know everything. Neither do people who are maybe 30 and making, like, who are owning businesses or athletes or, I don't know, other type of careers. And in my opinion, it's good to at least show and being able to stay productive at a young age. Like, if you're between 16, 17, and 25, you still got time. Start now, in my opinion. Because, I mean, lucky enough, we're not even, like, I mean, soon we'll be 18 already. Like in less than like no time basically. So we're already gonna be adults, but have a lot more responsibility doing different things because with that age comes a lot of responsibility and making sure you're not doing any stupid things. But as I said, if you stay productive and you use your time to like making sure that you focus on things you're supposed to be doing, age, uh, a lot of other stuff that are limiting you in life won't be a problem because one's being mature for your age is one thing, and that shows to people around you that you are that you've been learning and different stuff in life have put you into the situation where you are right now. And obviously not everyone have the same life, everyone still have something going for themselves, everything go through different stuff in life, right? And it puts people in a place where they're mature for the age. But at the same time, you need to understand you're not almighty and all-knowing. You have so much to learn. But at the same time, you need to understand that your age doesn't limit you.
Whatever you want to improve, there is no too late to improve it. Like, doesn't matter if you're 15, doesn't matter if you're 30. If you go to the gym, it's gonna be better for you. If you learn something new, it's gonna be better for you. If you try to do something better with your time and waste less time and to remove a bad habit, doesn't matter if you're 10 years old or if you're 40 years old, it's still gonna help you.
Some valid points.
Yeah. So now, if we get a little bit more on topic of how to increase productivity, because we already covered what productivity is, we covered that you have to start, but now let's give the people some value and let's give them the real game. How to increase the productivity, some things that will help them increase the productivity. And in my opinion, and I think you agree with this, one of the best ways to do that is to either make a timetable for yourself or make a habit tracker where you put habits for every day and you have to check them off and do all the things. What do you think about this way to increase productivity? Do you think it's helpful? Do you think it can be tweaked a little bit to make it better, basically?
I think, yeah, of course. I mean, you can do it physically or you can do it on your phone. The thing is, you can do it on your phone and that will be also helpful. Some people will be like, no, do it physically because you see it in front of your eyes every day, right? But think about it. Where do you spend a lot of your time with?
On your phone.
This thing. Exactly. So there's a really difference. It depends on the person if they don't spend much time on phone. Depends on them. So, for example, I have a cardboard on like a special thing where you can put pins and you can put like like stuff and you can pin on it. So there you can put like a routine schedule, and for sure what you Ahmed said, yes, I think that can improve. Why? Because you're seeing the goals, you're seeing what you need to do, the tasks you need to do throughout the day, and it shows like, okay, this much left, free time. And for you, you're the one that chooses to spend that free time. How to choose it? Uh, Sorry, no, how to spend the time. You choose how to spend the time, and obviously that goes to the next point where we're gonna speak about how to use that free time. How do you distribute that free time? Into what? What can help you to um, stay focused and how to make the most out of it, out of the free time you have?
Yeah, well, making the most out of the free time, like this again from the habit tracker and timetable. If we go back to it a little bit, like if you have a habit tracker and you have ticked off everything on there, don't start doing bad habits. Think of something that you can still keep doing on there. Because, like, let's say if you did something on there, that doesn't mean that, okay, this is finished and I cannot do anything more about it. If you did one thing, let's say on your habit tracker you had, I don't know, do 50 push-ups today. Well, you can do a little bit more, or you can do something else physical. Try to keep staying in the areas that you want to improve. Don't go ahead and do bad habits. Like, of course, from time to time, you're gonna slip up, you're gonna do something, you're gonna go, you're gonna You're gonna go to a bar, you're gonna go to a club, drink a little bit. It happens, it's normal. Like, you cannot completely cut that out, you cannot completely never have fun. Of course, you can do these things, but when you have free time, try to keep improving the things that you are working on. Because once you check it off on the habit tracker, or once you do something good in the day, that doesn't mean you can do more of good. Like, once you do something good, you can do more good without doing bad as well. But it's just, you don't have to be perfect, but try to do as much good as you can.
I think when you're already being productive the whole day and you do have some free time, if you think you have something else you could do that could be pretty nice, or if you have not plans, but you're having like, oh, maybe me and my friend, we've worked all day and maybe we could have a nice chat, you know? We can go to a restaurant, have a nice dinner with a bunch of friends, and we can talk about work or we can talk about life, you know? That's a really good time to spend your free time sometimes. But we're not saying you should do that all the time. Why? Because you need to stay productive as well. I mean, being productive all day, even during your free time, is a lot, and not everyone can handle it, in my opinion. So it really depends on you. If you think you can still use more of your brain cells to stay productive at the end of the day, I guess you can try. And it really depends on you. I mean, maybe it could help you achieve the goal you've set already when we were speaking about, I believe, in the second episode.
Yes.
Yeah. And, or either, as I said, maybe you can have a nice dinner, you know? For example, as an example, once I'm done, me and Ahmed, once we're done recording this and discussing a few more stuff about the episode or the podcast, I'm gonna go have dinner with my friend. I'm not saying I do this all the time, but I do sometimes. Ahmed knows. Ahmed knows me. Sometimes I stay home and sometimes I do some editing with him. We speak about more episodes. We watch some podcasts. We learn. We gain some more information. And but sometimes, for example, I would go and have a nice dinner with my friend, spend some time talking with them, because obviously, as we said, making most of your time, but as well, we also spoke about it before, environment, and in actually a few episodes already, how to keep your environment clean, you know, and which means cutting off people who might hold you back, you know. I make sure I spend time with friends who are not gonna judge me for what I do, who are not gonna pull me down, except they're actually even telling me, keep going, bro. I like watching your episodes, you know? They give feedback, they're trying to help. Including my friend I'm gonna go have dinner with, for example. That's a great environment, you know? And depends as well. You have free time, you can spend some time with your friends. But you know, depends also with who.
Of course.
As long as they're not like influencing you in a bad way, you know? That's good.
Yeah, if you just hang out with people who are negative all the time and who do bad things, you're gonna kind of start getting into that mood as well. And when you are with them, you're gonna be in that mood, and the more you hang out with them, the more this mood is going to start getting like into you, not only when you are around them, but also at other times. So if you hang out with negative people all the time, when you are close to them, you're gonna be negative, but then further on, it's going to happen that even when you are not around them, you are still negative, because your perspective and your mind changes because all the people around you that you're talking to are this way. That starts changing your mind as well, and you start thinking the same way and basically doing the same things as them.
Of course, right people push you, and the wrong people, you know.
Pull you down. Exactly.
Exactly.
So yeah, for the first point, the timetable and the habit tracker, make sure to do this and they will help you a lot, because also what these things do is, especially the timetable does this, when you have a timetable and you know what you should be doing at this time, you cannot go and do something random. Like from 5 to 6 you're supposed to be working on this, and then if you are supposed to be working on this from 5 to 6, you cannot, I don't know, go out and get drunk at 5 to 6 because you're supposed to be working this. And if you don't know what to do, you're like, okay, what should I do now? You go on your phone, you check your habit tracker. Okay, I haven't done this yet, so let me do it now. So like when you don't know what to do, it's usually when you do bad habits and stupid things. And with these things, when you don't know what to do, you can find something to do really quickly.
I agree. I mean, most of the stuff you do, I mean, most of the stuff you think you probably need to do are most of the times when you're wasting your time. Not when you have free time. It's already when you're wasting your time, when you're supposed to be doing something, but you're not doing it. So that's called lack of discipline and being lazy, which we already talked about in different episode. So we're not gonna get much into it, but we're gonna talk about how to prioritize your time. So about prioritizing your time and actually finding things to do, they're most of the time they're actually in front of your face already. So what do you think, Ahmed, about that? Most of the things that you should be doing are actually already in front of your face.
Yeah, well, this was on my list of points actually, and we can go into this because this is very interesting, and I learned a lot of things about this recently. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody who I learned a lot from is actually Jordan Peterson, and a lot of people underrate him and don't really know what he talks about, but he talks about a lot of good things. So basically, how to find what to work on. This is really simple actually. Think about what is your problem right now? What are you missing, or what do you want to have that you don't have? What is the problem right now? And when you figure out what is the problem right now, what is making you not feel good, what is lacking in your life, what do you want? When you find that, well, then you set the goal that you want. So let's say you want a girlfriend. Okay, then there are steps in order to do that. You need to take certain steps in order to get a girlfriend. You need to, let's say, set up a dating profile on Hinge or whatever dating app you want to use. Take some good pictures, put those pictures on there, learn some things about texting and things like this, improve your Instagram, or just go out, talk to some girls outside, or whatever. There are many ways to meet girls, and there are many ways to kind of talk to them and use different strategies to kind of, but not to go into that too much. If you have some other goal, if you want to lose weight, then you make a plan for that. Okay, in order to lose weight, I need to go to the gym, I need to eat less calories, and things like this, and just see what problems you have right now, and then make a plan of how to remove these problems, and you're going to see that this is how you improve your life, basically.
You have to have the vision in front of you. Always. Always have an example of what you want to be, of a goal you have, and you need to have a plan for it. Same for prioritizing time. You have free time, you make a plan for it. You see what you want to do for it. How can you improve yourself during that free time? So you have a goal, you have a thing you need to achieve, put it in front of you, and just dig, dig into it. Keep digging in.
Yeah. And also remember that you cannot start off like with too much. You're not going to be David Goggins on day one, obviously. You have to start little by little, because what can happen is, like, I can give you an analogy. In the gym, like if you go and you do a set until failure on the first set, then on the second set, obviously you're not going to be that good. You're not going to be able to do that much. So if you go in at the first day and do absolutely everything, do the craziest habit tracker, do the craziest timetable, 0 minutes wasted, then on the next day you're going to waste 24 hours, because you used up all of your energy on the previous day, you used up all of your discipline, and now on the second day you cannot do anything. So that's why you have to make a plan, make small goals. And what people don't understand is, because they have never done anything, and that's why they don't understand this. When you start doing small things, when you start moving, that gives you momentum. And it's not like the progress is not like this. Okay, progress a little bit and it goes like this. The progress actually goes like this. When you start doing something, it gives you momentum, and when you have the momentum, it starts being easier to do more and more things. And when you have that momentum, you're gonna get more done. So you have to start with the small things, and the small things are going to give you the speed and the ability to do more.
Because with each time you're better and things starting to get better, like easier for you, that means you're gonna be like spending less time doing them. So that's by each time you do it faster and easier. So more new goals will be, depends on the difficulty of the new goal, but probably if it's little by little, they're gonna be faster, easier, and then you're gonna be like, okay, I can maybe like, head for bigger little bit goals if you're already used for the small ones. When you already know you're good at it, when you have the discipline it takes, the dedication.
Yeah, of course. So start with this again comes down to plan, how you plan out the things. Because if you want to one day become a millionaire, you're not gonna make $100,000 tomorrow. You're gonna first think about, okay, I want to become a millionaire, but how do I get my first $1,000 before I become a millionaire? How do I get my 10,000, 100,000? Move step by step and have the plan like to the details. Have small goals. Don't just have the goal of being a millionaire. Have the smaller goals. Like by the end of this year, what do I want to be? By the end of this month, what do I want to be? What do I want to do tomorrow in order to move closer to that goal? And ask yourself, did I go closer to it or did I get further from it today? And why? Reflect on yourself, analyze. Analyze on what you did good, analyze on what you did bad, and then improve on it.
Of course. Um, Analyzing your past mistakes, going through more challenges by actually being better at it, because each time you fail you get better. Okay, I look back, okay, I did this wrong, now I'll do this correctly, I'll fix it, and now squeezing in perfectly.
Yeah, that's why you have to move with speed and you have to do things. Because imagine I just stayed back and I didn't do anything. Well, first of all, I wouldn't learn anything, right? If I don't do anything, I'm not gonna learn anything from my own experience. If I didn't make any mistakes, I wouldn't learn any lessons and I wouldn't know what to avoid and what to prioritize. When you do something, you get experiences and you learn from these experiences, and these experiences that you get now make it easier for the future, and they give you kind of the perspective of how you want to be doing things in the future. Because the sooner you make the mistakes, the sooner you learn the lessons, and the sooner you learn the lessons, the better you are going to start doing. Because when you know the lessons, it's way easier to do things.
Of course, and repeating the same mistake twice, for example, is like it's already you already learned the first time.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're guys, sometimes we're gonna do it the hardest way, if not the hard way.
Yeah.
So you cannot really do anything about it. It depends on you. So of course, I agree.
But something else, like with the mistakes. Mistakes are good to learn lessons from them. But if you just keep doing the same mistake, if you just keep doing the same mistake again and again and again, you don't do anything about it, well, then it's not good. That's why people think mistakes are bad. Because they keep doing the same mistakes over and over and over and over and again. And when you keep doing the mistake, obviously it's going to be bad. Because you don't learn the lesson from it. Mistakes are good because of the lessons that they contain, not because when you make a mistake, maybe you're gonna lose $1,000. That's not good, but the lesson you learned is good. But if you just keep losing $1,000 every day, well, then that's not good.
Of course. The thing is, people say, "Oh, you made a mistake. That's it. Fucked up. Fail. No more. Give up."
Yeah.
Look into the mistake. Look into it. What did you do? What did you do wrong? What have you done that made you fail? That made you lose $1,000? That made your girl, I don't know, break up with you? What has happened? Look into it. Analyze every mistake you've done. It's like, here's the mistake, spread it out. Look into it. Dig into each moment. Realize what have you done wrong. Note down everything you have done wrong. Act on it.
Yeah, change it because otherwise there's no point. There's a lesson in every mistake and there's something to learn in every mistake. Every time you get something wrong, then you have to learn what is the right way and then start doing it the right way. Like in school, if you raise your hand and you say something wrong, the teacher is going to correct you, and now you're going to know and you're going to remember, okay, it's this, it's not this, because this is why teachers in school, I don't know if this happened to you, but teachers in school used to tell us, like, raise your hand and say what you think. If it's wrong, that's even better because I'm going to correct you. And when you said something wrong and I corrected you, you're going to remember it even more. This is basically another way of saying make mistakes and learn the lessons from the mistakes, and those lessons that you learn from mistakes are going to stick with you.
not only that is that when the next opportunity comes in, you're gonna be ready.
Yes, because you already have the lesson and you know what to do and what not to do, which is very
You
important.
already recognize the situation. You already know what's gonna happen next. You're just planning it out fully, like on a go. You're just like, I've seen this before, and then you already know what to do, and then perfect.
Exactly. So another hack that I have for productivity that's going to make it easier for you to be productive. I don't know if you have thought about this, but this is something that I heard a while ago, and it's actually pretty good. It is to imagine who you want to be and act like it now. Imagine like you want to be very good at basketball, you want to be a professional basketball player. Well, imagine as if you are a professional basketball player now. Imagine yourself as already a professional basketball player and think, what would a professional basketball player do right now? Would he stay at home and play the basketball video game, or is he gonna go outside and train? Well, of course, he's gonna go outside and train, try to be better. And like this, think about it through that perspective. Like, if you are already a professional basketball player, what would you be doing? Or if you are already a MMA fighter, what would you be doing right now? Whatever it is, just think about what you would be doing right now if you are already that person, and that can help you a lot.
I agree because this helped me actually publicly in public. That helped me a lot. For example, um, there's a lot of things that could boost you in different ways. We're kind of going away from the topic, but for example, if you want to become a millionaire, so for example, you see, okay, what would a millionaire be doing right now, or a basketball player, or a football player, whatever. The thing is also, for example, a lot of things that, for example, you want to be, let's say, a really wise, I don't know, like, let's say a millionaire, for example, right? I'll give an example. Few days ago, I was in a party with the friends. And for example, number one thing I think which really helps is obviously already having the mentality, having already understanding of how to think. And obviously for our age, Ahmed, I think already compared to other people our age, we're different. For you guys viewers who don't really know us, but want to interact with us, speak to us, there's the comment section. You know, you can drop your social media, be like, hey, I would like to speak about this, or just DM us on like Instagram, like we're gonna drop it down in you know in description our socials. So just text us or something. But a few days ago, for example, I was at a party, like this public party my city does like every year. It's like 4 or 5 days in a row, and live music, food, good vibe, energy, and obviously I was with the friends, and I was already dressed up well, all good, already with the friends. I've confident, it's I think it's like this with everyone. I mean, if you're a solo alone, like what would you be at a party? I really wouldn't waste time, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm with friends there because like, why not already. So I dressed up well, I went there, and honestly I don't really look at girls, but when I do, they have to be different from other ones. Like they gotta be different, they gotta stand out to me. I'm not gonna look like a normal fucking Spanish girl who likes vaping, drinking, smoking, clubbing 24/7, for example, at the place there, you know? So I looked to my right and I saw a beautiful girl. She was different. Like, guys, the first sight you see, you're like, okay, she's different. So, speeding up the story, at the end, I walk up to her. Her parents were there. And I was like, I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, do you speak English? Because I knew she was a foreigner. Like, I knew she wasn't Spanish. And for me, that's what attracts me, for example. So I came out with tapped on shoulders, like, do you speak English? She was like, yeah. That was like, well, I was looking for Messiah. I thought you look cute. Maybe I could, like, we could grab a drink or something. And she was like, actually, I'm leaving with my parents right now and stuff. But my point is, of the moral of the story, is that I had confidence to come up to her, not because it was like me, myself, because of the way I it was the clothes I was wearing. It was the surrounding. It was the environment with the friends I was in. If you're gonna be with some friends who aren't confident, I'm not gonna lie, you won't be confident yourself. Is the people you choose to be around with.
Yeah.
So the point is, for example, a lot of guys actually struggle coming up to girls and stuff, but I managed because I was around good people, good environment, and because I was thinking as for example, a high value man. I didn't think of me myself. Like, I mean, obviously, I myself, I knew what I contain of for a girl to, let's say, if she would get to know me. Of course, I understand that, but the here is difference. Here's the difference of how you think. And I mean, if we're talking about average women, they don't. I mean, they care about what's in the guy's mind, But obviously, they would go for a normal. For example, here Spanish girls, what they look for, if he's fun to be around. Does he like going concerts? Does he like clubbing, drinking, vaping? That's what they look at. I don't. I'm different.
Yeah, and this, what you explained is, you couldn't find the right word, but it's how you view yourself, is what you try to say, right? How you see yourself.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is about, how you view yourself. Because in that moment, imagine you viewed yourself as, well, I don't have any money, I don't have any confidence, I didn't get a haircut recently, maybe these clothes, I don't know if they're that good, I bought them for cheap. If you had these thoughts in your brain, you wouldn't go up to that girl and talk to her. You had the thoughts, okay, I'm confident, I know who I am, I'm gonna go talk to that girl, I've done this a million times. You have these kind of thoughts in your mind, and that gives you the confidence to actually go and actually do it. Because you view yourself the good way. You don't view yourself in a negative way. You view yourself positively. And that's, of course, you have to be realistic with yourself and know what your flaws are and work to improve those flaws. But when it's time to act on something, like this goes back to a quote that I saw a while ago. And it's a little bit different from this, but you can implement it into this. Practice like you never won, fight like you never lost. So when it's time to act, imagine yourself as you're the best, and when it's time to improve, imagine yourself as you're the worst and you have a lot more work to put in. So basically, when you're doing the thing, confidence, and you view yourself as the one who's going to win, and when it's time to practice and improve on things, you view yourself as the one who is the worst and needs to practice the most.
We've spoken about this in the episode of simping, right? When we look at girls, we look at the girls who are actually probably gonna have a bunch of guys looking at them, right? It's competitiveness. And the way, yes, first episode, introduction. The way me and Ahmed met was by playing CS and being competitive in it. Me and Ahmed, we're very competitive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We have this drive inside us. Me as an example, when it comes to anything, in my opinion, it comes to literally anything, fashion, different stuff. I love to be I love to be the best.
Of course.
And for me, I breathe competition. I live it. It is my way in life to be the best, to be better in stuff that I'm trying to succeed at. And same, for example, when you're picking up a girl. Some guys do it to have fun. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, I'm against that. That's my opinion, I'm against that. I think a man should be loyal. He can talk to multiple girls, like have options, whatever, that's his choice. Me personally, if I'm single, I don't mind talking to multiple girls, if a guy is single. If he's not dating anyone, that's fine. But we're talking about limits. And for example, me as a guy, I'm not gonna go and talk to a bunch of girls at a party or something. Unless if it's for my own benefit, we're not talking about sexually wise or none of that stuff. We're talking about benefit in terms of making contacts. So getting to know people. That's one thing. That's different. And for me, I don't really need to. Because I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on the podcast we're doing. I'm focusing with Ahmed on what we're supposed to do. I'm not focusing on looking for girls and everything like this. I'm looking for to praise God, trust Him, do my own thing, and when I'm ready, He's gonna send me the one. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you cannot go and look for one, because you never know when she'll come up. But you'll know that she'll be the one. Me, for example, I have progressed so much in the past 1 year. Ahmed knows me so long already. He have met me before the way I was 2.5 years ago, and he started like we started speaking in like 2 months ago when we started the podcast, and he has known me for so much. The person I was before and the person I was now, right? And we're talking about, let's say, 2 months span of time. I remember when we just met
Yeah,
2 months ago when we get back to talking,
it was
and
different.
we have, yeah, it was different. Why? Because when we started doing the right thing, which is the podcast, naturally we started cutting off people, not talking to some multiple people, because you're busy all the time, and it's not even your own choice, but that's what happens. And let me speed this up. So basically, I have progressed. And when I know that I'm in a position where it won't really hurt to look for a girl, so I'll give it a chance. I'm not gonna go and look for one, like go every party, go out restaurant, and look at beautiful women and try to speak to each one of them. No, I'll just be at the right time when I have to be, and if I see somebody, I will approach. That's the way I was actually trying to explain my point. So competitiveness. Going back to that, we choose girls that we know every other guy would like. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Guys do not like like people, girls who are partying, girls who are going out, all of this stuff. We don't like that. We don't. That's not what we look again
We
like
might like
in a girl.
to
That's not what we look for.
we might like to fuck, but not only that. Like you're against that, so obviously you wouldn't do that. But like if you want to fuck, then you would do that. But like if you want a relationship, you're never gonna get a girl that's partying all the time. And that's what girls don't understand. They're getting fucked and they think they're getting a relationship. No, you're not getting anything. All you're getting is that.
Mm-hmm. And that comes to the point where every girl you see is pretty much the same. In the last 5 months, and we're talking about living in Spain, okay? We're talking about me living in Spain. I don't know where you guys, like people who watch my podcast, live in different countries around the world, and but I live in Spain. Spain is known for what? Tourism, partying, Ibiza, girls.
Yeah.
In my 5 years that I live here, I have not met a single girl that I would look at and be like, you know what? She's actually pretty uh, different from others, and I would like to, I don't know, date her, have a relationship with her. Until 2 days ago, I was in the right moment, right time, and I approached her. This is the way, in my opinion, guys should be looking for a girl.
Yeah, of course. When you see a girl, just go because this is also going to leave the thoughts in your brain. If you don't go, okay, you are outside on that place, whatever the place was, the rest nice and everything, and you see that girl and you're like, I don't feel confident, I'm not gonna approach her. And then what would you be thinking now? You would be now at home and you would be like, fuck, if I approach that girl, what would have happened? Would she say yes? Would we like go for a drink or something? What would happen? Would we start talking? And then those things in your brain. And now when you went and she said, okay, I'm here with my family and whatever, and I'm gonna go in a few days. Well, then that fixes it, and you don't have the thought of what would have happened. You actually know what happened, and you say like, okay, it couldn't have, like nothing more could have came out of that. And you can still find some kind of a mistake. Maybe you didn't do something quite right, because when you try it, you see what the flaws are. Like maybe if you didn't do something perfectly on the approach, then next time you know, okay, I need to approach her in this way now.
And by each time you approach a girl, you're gonna be more confident. You're never gonna fear of, like, the worst that can happen is she's just gonna say no. That's it. It's not like you're gonna die. It's
She's
not
not
like you're
gonna.
gonna never find a girl in your life anymore.
She's probably not going to
You know?
record you on TikTok and post you. Like
Yeah, it's not like your
normal
whole
girls
reputation
don't
in life
really
is gonna
do
be
that.
ruined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna say no, or the worst she could say is you're not my type, or something, or you're short. Like I don't know what else could she say. Like, and if she insults you, like who gives a fuck? Like tell her she's ugly and just move on, or tell her like I don't know. If she tells you you're short, tell her you're fat.
Whatever, just, you know.
Nothing bad
But,
is going to
by the
happen.
way,
You're only gonna learn.
yes, but if a girl does tell you, look, this is the reason I don't want to be with you, or like, I don't like you for this reason, a girl has a reason for that. At the end, it's the girl who's gonna be with you, not a guy. So if girl says something to you, think about it a little bit. Don't take it with the that's it, it's over for me. No, constructive criticism. It's not an insult. It's constructive criticism. You choose how to take it, as an insult and get offended, take it personally and be sad about it for the rest of your life, or take it as constructive criticism and get better.
There's one problem though, that girls are not always gonna be honest. Like they might say they didn't like your shoes, but in reality they thought you were ugly. Or they say they didn't like your clothes, but actually it was that, I don't know, you smell bad or something like that. They're not always gonna say the truth, but even if they don't say the truth, try to improve on something and like try to notice what is bad about you.
I get it. Um, and some guys don't, because sometimes they cannot really tell if she's being honest or not. But you can tell if the girl is lying to you or not. You can really tell. You can tell. So if you know she's bullshitting, yeah, whatever. Next one.
But
But yeah, going back to priorities, like, oh wait, yeah, go on, my fault.
yeah, like going back to being productive,
Ah,
exactly what you're about to
mm-hmm.
say. What did you want to say about it?
Yeah, going back to that, acting on who you want to be, acting like one, not even acting, being one, pretty much, kind of. Because that's what you want to be in life, 100%, if you have decided already. You already known for so long, you want to be, like, when you 100% know it. Nobody's stopping you. So finish it, get the goal, keep working on it. And yeah, a good example was that I was trying to give earlier was with a girl. I knew who I was. I knew what I can provide for the girl, because I knew I didn't try to pull every girl there is on the street. And because I was dressed well, all of those stuff, I'm different from other guys. That's what gave me the confidence to approach her.
Exactly. And again, on productivity, something else that will help you in general is what I call, and I didn't think of that term, that's something I first heard from Hamza, a good YouTuber. But the thing is, fix your basic attack, and I have improved it on my own and thought about it a little bit more. Sep, I don't know if I have talked about this specifically with you, but I think I have mentioned it before. Fixing your basic attack. Do you know the general meaning of that?
Not really, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so basically it is when you don't have nothing to do, what do you do? So you did everything on your habit tracker and you're finished, and now you don't know what to do, you have free time, or you're just zoned out. Fix what you're doing, because most people, when they have free time and they don't know what to do, what do? They go on Instagram, or they go on TikTok, or they go on whatever fucking thing, they go on YouTube and they watch Sidemen. Well, what you should be doing is having your basic attack set to something productive. So somebody's basic attack could be reading, which for me would be hard. Like I cannot sit down and read a book because I'm not on that level of mental clarity and whatever. Like I want to be active, I want to be doing something. So for me, what I do is I watch a podcast, and while watching the podcast, I could be doing something else, doing something like I don't know. Basic attack, basically what you're doing when you don't have nothing to do. When you have nothing to do you solve a Rubik's Cube when you have nothing to do? Do you play chess when you have nothing to do? Do you watch a podcast when you have nothing to do? And you can do these different things, and that's going to help you, because otherwise, if you don't get that to your basic attack when you have nothing to do, you watch a podcast. That's going to be 10,000 times better than when you have nothing to do, you go and you watch TikTok. It's going to be 10,000 times better. If you learn a new skill, if you learn how to solve this Rubik's Cube instead of watching TikTok or whatever, well, then that's going to be much better for you, because you learn some kind of a thing. Like, fix your basic attack, do something useful when you have nothing else to do. And it's also enjoyable. Scrolling on TikTok is zoning your brain out. Watching a podcast is enjoyable. It doesn't even have to be this podcast. It can be a podcast about the guy who goes to the Amazon rainforest and like he has some crazy stories from there and whatever. Like, it can be anything.
I agree. Because it's your choice how to spend your time. But I know for sure that if you're gonna spend your time at least watching something that can make you better, make you smarter here. Like, I'm sure there's something interesting. Come on, you watching fucking TikTok all the time is gonna fucking destroy your attention span. You won't be able to last 1 minute without doing something stupid. Like, it's crazy. Nowadays, people our generation are like this. This is what driving me crazy sometimes. And I meet this kind of people every day. Oh my god, like it's crazy to me. Some of them are my friends and I try to help them all the time. And they watch my episodes. This is the way I help them.
Yeah. That's good. And when I watch people watching TikTok, I realize how fucked we are. They're like this. And they don't even see the video. Like, I'm in the bus and the guy in front of me is scrolling TikTok, and I look at his TikTok to see something interesting. Okay, let's see what he's gonna do. And he skips the first 2 seconds of every video, and I'm like, what are you even watching? Like, you're not watching anything, you're just scrolling. Like, you're not even watching TikTok, you're scrolling TikTok. That's why when I talk about TikTok, I don't say watching TikTok, I say scrolling TikTok, because people just scroll. They don't even watch, they just scroll.
Yeah, I feel like that's not just already messed up. That's just I have no words how bad that is. At this point, might as well just go to the beach, look into the sky, and say this is boring as well. Like, man, you're watching. Like, I'm not gonna be a fraud here and be like I'm so perfect. I'm not. I sometimes go on Instagram and scroll on this, like scroll sometimes, but I at least the content
At least
in
you watch
my
it.
Instagram, yes, like at least the content that I'm watching, the personalized content that I get is actually useful. I don't get fucking Aiden Ross. I don't know, talking to some OnlyFans girl. I don't get. I should
Speed with
speed
his
barking on someone.
yes.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
humping his dog. Did you see the clip with the dog, like where he's with a robot dog and he's like fucking it from the back or some shit? Like, this is, it's fucked. The generation is fucked. Like, I'm gonna show you the clip after. But like, Speed has some robot dog and he like goes behind it and he's pretending he's fucking it or whatever. Like, yeah. Our generation is fucked. But anyway, at least me too. Like, I go on Instagram, Reels and whatever, but at least I watch it. Like, Escaron, I'm like, okay, let me see, let me watch. Okay, cool. And then I go to the next one. After I've watched it, I don't just like, what's the point? You're not even seeing anything. You're just scrolling to scroll.
bro, the way you just like cool. That was funny. Oh my god. But yeah, that's the point. Like, if like yes, it's bad. We're not denying it. But you can personalize your content, and a lot of good stuff will show up there. And at least watch it.
Yeah. And when you
Oh my
see
god.
something interesting, like, okay, whatever, like it, follow the page. Like, when you see something that inspires you, that motivates you, go on that page, look through the page, and what YouTube, not YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is going to say, okay, this person likes this content and is going to give you more of that content. So if you like the motivational stuff and whatever app you are using, can you follow some accounts, then you are going to get more of that. And it's going to be better than watching I Show Speed or Aiden Ross on there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the fact that you even told me about the I should speed thingy, obviously I didn't know why because I don't watch that type of stuff.
Yeah, I just saw it because
I'm
it
not
was like
brain dead.
I saw it because I was on Twitter and I saw people saying iShow Speed is like stupid. This is what iShow Speed is promoting and things like this. And I saw it for people criticizing him. I don't like watch him.
Yeah. So yeah, so we finished with if you even do some stuff that aren't like really progressive, but at least you're doing something that you can learn something through it. I'm not gonna lie, like the reels that I get on Instagram are, for example, old money, motivation, gym, workout, Bible stuff. A lot of that is my faith wise there, and that helps me a lot. That's the reason I spend sometimes 1 hour or 1.5 hours scrolling on Instagram is because the stuff I get there actually helps.
Yeah,
Because I just Ahmed knows I follow so many people, and most of them are motivation and Bible and all of that type of stuff.
yeah, and that's good because at least when you go there, at least you have something good. You don't have just stupidity and just, I don't know, whatever, brain rot content.
Yeah.
But again,
So like,
on
yeah, go on, go on.
you can say what you want to say because I would have moved on to something else.
Yeah, let's move on. I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. So something else that I have on my list of points is to fix your environment, and I don't mean that only in the way of fixing your friends, because we have talked about this a million times. To remove the negative people and have good friends. Fixing your environment, I also mean the physical environment you are in right now. Look around you, look in your room. If your room is a mess, no wonder you cannot focus, no wonder your brain is a mess. If everything around you is out of order, if everything is chaotic, you're gonna be the same way because you're in that atmosphere, in that environment. So clean up your room, put things in order, and it's going to be easier to stay focused because you don't have random stuff distracting you, you don't have random stuff like on the floor, you don't have like a I don't know, whatever, like a empty bag of chips or an empty bottle of cola or whatever. Take these things out of there, and you're not gonna get distracted. And it's going to feel much more like a better atmosphere, and you can be more productive in a better atmosphere.
I agree. And the other thing is, when you clean your room, is discipline. I've cleaned mine. Like, I can take a video and Ahmed, I can show you can edit it into the video, but probably not because you can't be bothered. But I have cleaned my room, and I feel better.
Of course.
If I wouldn't clean my room, I wouldn't be here smiling like this. But yeah,
Yeah, of course, because like this is also a little bit of this thing. If you haven't cleaned up your room, it sounds simple, but when you actually start doing it, you find out, okay, like this is actually a little bit hard. Let me see. What is wrong? Is this wrong? Like, how can I fix this? Where do I put this? And then after you finish it, you're like, wow, this actually helped. Like, it feels so much cleaner. It feels so much nicer. Now I can sit down on the desk, feel comfortable, like, do some work. And you're not getting distracted by random stuff that is laying on the floor, right? And it's much better this way.
yes, because I'm not gonna lie, my room isn't that very big, but like for me, it's decent, like a decent sized room. So when I have so much stuff on the floor, it's just hard to move around. It feels very tight, and it gives you this bad vibe or whatever atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, energy. So, and that definitely affects your performance.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff I can say with that a clean room that can affect your life. Trust me, I can go on this for like another 30 minutes. But this is a different topic, so I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Yeah, of course. And that's in general as well, like to fix your environment. And again, of course, the people that you are with, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, everyone knows that already. But just try to keep everything clean and try to go to good places as well. When you go out with friends, don't go to some don't go to some stupid places. Go to a nice place. Like if you're going for a dinner, go for a nice dinner, don't go to McDonald's. If you're gonna hang out somewhere, don't hang out in like a bad neighborhood or whatever, hang out on a nice place,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where you're gonna see some people, maybe you're gonna see some girls, you're gonna talk to someone, like go to nice places as well. Put yourself in good places. Don't put yourself in bad places because where you are influences your mood.
I agree. It's the atmosphere, the environment you're in. We're talking about not the people even. We're talking about the place. We're talking about what place is it and how this place can affect you. As an example, let's take a jazz bar or let's take a nice fancy restaurant and you're well dressed. And if you're in that type of place, let's say, and you just arrived at the restaurant and you're supposed to be with friends and you see a nice girl, but you know you're gonna be at this restaurant, which is nice, clean, good, not some cheap restaurant or something. Plus, you're dressed well. You will have every bit of confidence in you to approach a girl. You're gonna invite her to dinner. She 100% yes. She'll 100% say yes for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, that's very important to be at a good place, to be in a good mood, to be presentable as well, to like not let go of yourself and look bad or like I don't know, smell bad. Like keep taking care of yourself as well. Make yourself somebody nice to hang out with. Cause like if you're not somebody nice to hang out with, why would anyone hang out with you? Like if you don't provide any value, if you say only stupid things, if you smell, if you don't dress well, like why would anyone be with you? Like genuinely ask yourself this question. And about girls, about friends, about anything. If you don't have a girlfriend, okay, maybe there's a chance that you don't take care of yourself. Maybe you don't dress well. Maybe you don't talk well. If you don't have friends, so maybe you are not a nice person to be around. Make yourself a better person to be around. Do good habits, improve yourself, and then you're gonna be around the same people. Like when you don't have something, there is a chance you are not doing the things that you need to be doing in order to get it.
Because imagine it's you and you have made a duplicate of yourself. Would you invite him to go hang out? Would you allow him to be around your girlfriend? Would you allow him to come to your house? Think about it.
That's a very good example. And also what you can do is think of that duplicate of yourself, place him in front of you, and imagine you are a girl. Would you be with this guy or would you choose the other guy over there? Well, it depends on who you are. Like, let's say you put Seb here and you put some guy that scrolls TikTok every day here. Well, of course she's gonna choose Seb because like he works on himself, he's more productive, he has actually goals in his mind, he's not scrolling TikTok all day because he's actually doing something with his life. If you're not doing anything with your life, why do you think you deserve anything? You're you're gonna end up exactly where you're headed. If you're headed to nowhere, you're gonna end up nowhere and you're gonna be nobody, obviously. Like, do something with your fucking time. Again, sometimes I get pissed off at this because people are just stupid. When you don't have anything, why would any girl be with you? When you are nobody, why would anybody be with you? Make sure to be the person that you want to be around. Like, this is so simple.
Yeah.
If you want to be around smart people, if you want to be around well dressed people, if you want to be around people who take care of themselves physically, who go to the gym, if you want to be around people that are successful, well, you have to be that person. You cannot be homeless guy and hang out with millionaires. Like, it's not possible. You have to be the same type of people, or at least present yourself as that kind of a person in order to be with those people. Otherwise, it's not possible. You have to actually become the person that they would want to be with, and become the person that this girl wants to be with. You cannot just be a loser and expect every girl to be yours. You have to actually be the person that the girls want.
Of course. I think everyone experienced this already at some point in life, but they're just a little bit too blind to realize. You've approached the girl. She said no. Think why she said no. If it's really a good girl, because you go for good girls only, she will have a good reason to reject you. Because if you come up to a hoe and she's stupid and all she does is club 24/7, smoke, drink, and hang out with a bunch of bums, of course she's gonna tell the most stupid shit ever and then reject you. Like it's so obvious. But you're talking to a nice girl and then she's like, "I'm sorry, I don't, not for me. Not now." You're gonna understand. You're gonna back off, but you're gonna understand why. So you're gonna ask her. So what made you think that way? Why did you say no? Why did you reject me? And she'll explain you, hopefully in a nice way, or even if it's like a truth, and truth is always harsh, then act on it. Don't take it as an insult.
Yeah, and always when she doesn't say yes, try to see what you could improve, because she could say she has a boyfriend, but she doesn't actually have a boyfriend. You are wearing like stupid clothes, or said something stupid. Like, think about, did I actually do things right and she actually has a boyfriend, or did I just do something stupid?
Most of the time, it's very stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I mean, depends on the girl you're asking, So.
Yeah, that as well. Okay, so that's going to be pretty much it for this episode, guys. It was episode 11. We covered how to increase your productivity and stop being a lazy bum. Stop wasting your time. Do something with your time. Make a product out of your time. Be productive. Making something out of your time. So, if this episode helped you, if you enjoyed it, if you learned something new, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe to our channel to not miss out on any upcoming episodes.
And if you have a lazy friend who is not being productive, send this episode to him.
Thank you for watching.